Hello, everybody. It's the coach. This is Madden 20 on EA Sports. Straight ahead, we've got what should be an interesting matchup between the Los Angeles Rams and the Buffalo Bills. I'll have scores around the league for you at the half, but it's time for a little football. So we'll hand it over to our broadcast team, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, we are pleased as always to be bringing you coverage of the National Football League on EA Sports. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Los Angeles Rams and the Buffalo Bills. Hello, everybody. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And, Charles, you take a look at the Bills entering play here. They've got to be pleased with the start to this season. Obviously, a perfect 3-0.
3 good quality wins, too. It's got people in the locker room excited. They're thinking that this could be their year.
Meanwhile, for the visiting Rams, they come in 0-3 and in desperate need of a win.
And as a team, you start to feel a little bit snake bit. They need something good to happen right now so they know it's not just them. They think they have the makings of a good team.
Versus 0-3. Will current form hold? We'll find out as we're off in Week 4. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. So out come the Rams now for their first possession. And they will be led out by their 6'4 quarterback.
And what I enjoyed watching this week when we had a chance to watch them at practice, the easy camaraderie that he has with his offense.
A lot of respect.
A lot of respect, and frankly, I thought it spilled over to the defense. I thought the defensive guys were coming over and teasing and joking with him. You can tell they respect the heck out of him and really want to play well for him.
They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. They'll get this complete to Cooper Kupp. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 17 yards on the game's opening play and a quick first down.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
Now it's Henderson. And he stopped immediately there. No gain on the play. It'll be second down. And this O-line, it is the lifeblood of the offense.
They establish the tone. Mean, nasty, physical. They can't wait to get after people. That allows the rest of the offense to feel confident.
Second down, it's Henderson. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. They'll wind up losing 4 yards on the play. And that'll force upon him a 3rd and 14.
Anytime you call an inside running play, you just know there should be a lot of congestion there. You're counting on your offensive line to take control of the line of scrimmage. That didn't happen in this case, and that play got bottled up.
That's caught by his tight end, Gerald Everett. And he gets this only to the 44-yard line. Not near enough to keep the drive alive. Just a 5-yard pickup, and it leads to 4th down.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield. A good return there, call it 13 yards. And the Bills will take over the football with a 1st and 10.
Ready! 10 Lobo. To the 2-jet bomber. To the 2-jet bomber. Watch out. Hey, lock it.
Here's Ronald Jones, first carry for the USC man. He's got a first down past the 30. The drive starting play, a good one. Give him 19. Last week, of course, the great performance, over 200 yards. He still wants to be fed.
And they should. That's exactly what you should do. I've not yet met a running back that's run for over 200 yards that says the very next week, hey, let's back things up.
Yeah, I don't need it as much.
No, they want it more and more. They're going to be ready to go because they think that's going to happen naturally now.
Here's Jones. And that one blown up quickly, as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. That'll set him back with a loss of 3 on the play. And it'll bring up a 2nd and 13.
Check 4, check 4. Bang, 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 gone.
They'll try the right side with Jones. Give him 4 on the carry there, but that only takes him back to where they started. 3rd and 10. Now let's take a look here at the Bills' offense.
And the schedule makers have given them a little break right here. Back-to-back home games, and they won last week. So they're trying to make it 2 in a row before they hit the road next week. They have to take advantage of this break in the schedule.
And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game.
Watch the pass. Watch the pass.
They'll drop the throw. The open man is Shark. It's complete. A big play here for the Bills. 47 yards.
That's just flat out a beautiful throw right there.
It was a rope. That's maybe the speed you would see on a slant, but he threw that downfield with that kind of pace.
Now, if he throws that one with any type of arc, puts a little air under it, that play doesn't happen. He had to fire it in there, and he did exactly that.
General West.
Twits. Watch twits.
Shoot.
Now a first down carry by Jones. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Buffalo touchdown. Ronald Jones, his 11th touchdown of the year, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. An ideal start for them, really. You force the punt, and then you go down and score.
And you've got to see a fist pump on the sideline from the head coach, don't you? Because he's turned into his bench, and he's telling his team, this is how we prepare. Force the punt, go downfield and score. I told you guys, it's just like a boxer in the gym, preparing for the fight. Now we get to turn it all loose.
Elliott good with a PAT, and that makes the score 7-0. So that drive spanned 5 plays, and it's Ronald Jones that polishes it off with a touchdown run. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Here's the Los Angeles offense as they get set to take possession and hoping to do better than they did their last possession when they punted the football.
Appeal to the vanity of your offensive line. Tell them that they control your fate. Leverage guys. Win the line of scrimmage. If you do that, you start to win first down. You win second down. And guess what? You start accumulating first downs, and that's what they need in order to not punt the ball again.
The completion good for 3, and it's second down. A look now at the Buffalo defense. They really played well in that win last week against Miami.
And it was the pass rush that really keyed their victory. Got to the quarterback 6 times for sacks, and plenty of other turbulence in the pocket for him as well.
Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28. From the gun to give to Henderson. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. That backs him up 1 yard and brings up 3rd down. Plays like we just saw there. That's why they're up right now. And the defense, they're doing their job.
Yeah, it starts with the guys up front. So when you talk with GMs who are putting together a team, a lot of them say we're going to build from the inside out, because if you control the line of scrimmage, you control the rest of the ball game, and that's what we're seeing here. They're actually playing in the offense's backfield, not necessarily just playing at the line of scrimmage.
Now a shot taken on 3rd down, but it's going to wind up incomplete.
I think the punter might start to get into a pretty good rhythm here if he keeps getting opportunities. But that's the last thing his team wants to have happen, right? The last thing you want to see is your punter feeling pretty good because he's out there all the time.
Yeah, first quarter only, but they're 0 for 2 on 3rd down conversions to start this thing. This will be fielded at the 17. So possession goes over here on the punt. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. And this offense trotting back onto the field. Let's turn our attention here to Ronald Jones. First month of the season, those numbers pretty solid. Does he continue that?
I think so, because when you come out of the gate this strong, that means that you have planned for it and you like the results that you're getting. So I wouldn't have any doubt that the head coach, offensive coordinator actually called him in and said, look, you're our guy, okay? We're going to continue to stick with this as long as we're winning games. You ready for the challenge? And then they presented it to the rest of the team. I think we'll see plenty of that as the season moves on.
And I'm sure he said challenge accepted. Here's 2nd and 8. That's caught by his tight end, Dawson Knox. And he's going to get this down to the 35-yard line. A big play on the catch and run, covering 34 yards.
I can hear the film session right now. I can hear the coach saying to his team, guys, how does a guy that big get that open?
Yeah, that's what I was wondering. Imagine him as a kid trying to play hide and seek.
No chance.
No chance. He goes to hide behind the skinny tree. You see the front, the back, the top. Good luck.
Yeah, you see him. You don't see the tree.
So that changes things a bit. Here's a 1st and 10 all the way down at the 35.
Hey, orbit.
Now back to throw. And this one into the hands of DJ Shark. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. Add this game to the last one, and they moved the ball over 50 yards in 2 plays.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. But slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
He will push his way down to about the 14. On the stop was Aaron Donald.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense. And guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature to make sure you don't get hurt.
And he is into the end zone for a Buffalo touchdown. Ronald Jones with his 2nd touchdown in this opening quarter. And the Bills will add on to their lead. And a pair of rushing touchdowns now for him in the 1st quarter.
And I'm liking what I'm seeing from his big guys up front because they're winning the leverage game. How many times we talk about low man wins, right? Move the defensive front aside, create those gaps and holes. He's found his way through them for 2 touchdowns.
And after both of those touchdowns, he went right up to that O-line and hit each of them on the helmet. He recognized it.
That's a smart man. You know what else he should do? If this continues, take them all to dinner.
Now he's back out there to boom this one away, maybe with some frustration after the PAT miss. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. And now out on the field, here comes Los Angeles. They've had it twice. They've punted twice. Not the start they were hoping for.
Not at all, and let's face it, every facility we visit, everyone talks about converting on 3rd down, how big that is. In this situation, they've had to punt it away twice, so they're furiously going over things on the sidelines. What do we need to do to pick up a 1st down and change our momentum?
Tremaine Edmonds there to bring him down.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
2nd and 9 now. Toward the center of the field, but it's incomplete. Just a little beyond the reach there of his receiver. That's probably one he wishes he had back.
He wishes it had been 7-on-7 in practice, or maybe even routes versus air, because that's a completion he makes, 9.9 times out of 10? Just missed that one.
He'll look to throw. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Partner, we had their game last week where they had 6 sacks, so a little bit more momentum here again in the 1st quarter.
And last week it appeared that they were coming out of sprinters blocks, chasing the quarterback. So how do they continue that? How do they keep making it happen? Different looks, different disguises, different angles that they chase it.
They were so disruptive last week. We'll see what the trend is here as we go forward. taken from just outside the 30.
Let's go, folks.
13-0 is the score after one on EA Sports. So good field position for the Bills as they come up 1st and 10 right at the 50-yard line.
24 is the mic. Pick me up. Here we go. Check three.
Greystone, Travis.
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. That one complete. He finds Sharp. And he'll be out just a yard or two shy of the 30. Give him 18 on that one as the Bills are going to have a first down.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route, and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and give the quarterback a really nice target.
Check three.
On first down, Jones. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Double time.
On second down, it's Jones. And they'll bring him down at the 18-yard line. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a first down.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
Double tight, guys. Double tight. Hey. You got three. Three down.
You're out.
They'll run on first down. Jones. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Buffalo touchdown. Ronald Jones on his way to a monster game. 3 first-half touchdowns. And the Bills will add on to their lead. This is becoming quite the half he's had here.
Remember in our pregame meetings, they talked about wanting to run the football and staying with it? Well, when you're scoring this many touchdowns, there's no reason to go away from it, is there? They are off to a fantastic start. They hope it continues.
3 already for him. Elliott on for the extra point. He missed one earlier, remember, but this time he gets it to go. So that drive, 4 plays. And it's Ronald Jones that polishes it off with a touchdown run. This fielded at the 2. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line. So now here are the Rams as their offense comes back out. And we don't want to call this desperation time, especially in the second quarter, but you're down.
You don't want to.
No, but let me finish.
Okay, my bad.
You're down 3 scores already. You've done nothing offensively, nothing on the scoreboard. That's not a good combination.
I think you just called it desperation time. I think you did. But let's face it, you mentioned this to me in a break earlier in the game. The energy level hasn't been there right from the start. We've noticed that. They've got to find a way to get on their toes and start punching instead of retreating, to use a boxing analogy.
They'll only get a couple up to about the 30.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, this big defensive lineman will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Hey, we got 3 down.
On second down, it's Henderson. And he'll do a nice job here just to fight his way back to the line of scrimmage. 2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it.
Some of these play calls, I think they're a little conservative, but you know me, because it's easy to sit up in this booth, right, and make all the calls and think I'm going to be correct. But I would like to see them open things up, because otherwise this defense is going to gang up on the run and shut them down.
And they're going to mark him down short, maybe by about a yard, if that. They get 7 there, but it brings up 4th.
So much about offense is what you call hidden yardage. You know, you throw the ball to someone, they catch it, and then they can make a big play. You know, they create a play, run after catch. They did a really nice job there of limiting that and keeping him from a first down.
Yeah, stopped him in his tracks. So a change of possession here. Let's turn our attention here to Ronald Jones. The passing game, they've had a secret.
We did ask, didn't we? But I think what happened in this one is they've realized that they've established the run pretty well, and teams are going to key on that. They thought they could open it up and have success through the air, and that's exactly what's going on.
Yeah, they've had success, at least so far here in the second quarter. Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1.
First play of the drive, let's give credit all around. Excellent blocking, but the guy carrying the ball, he was the finisher. A really nice run.
Look at me. Door. Shoot.
On 2nd down now. Madison, he'll have a first down past the 40 as he'll get this one up to the 44-yard line. 15 yards that time and a Buffalo first.
How many times do we say in this game that speed kills, and it does it in so many different ways? In this case, you got a back who's quick and shifty, can make moves, make people miss, but also gets to and through a hole before it can close down. That's some of the benefits of that speed, not just outrunning people in the secondary. That led to a really nice game.
On first down, it's Jones. 10 yards, good enough for a Buffalo first down. He continues to be effective running the football, a big reason that they have the lead.
And I love one of the quotes that I read about him where he said of himself, I love it when a team just hops on my back and I just carry them along.
So from Rams territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 46.
4 down. Under crunch. Rush in. Check nine. 36. Switch.
Check go.
And they'll keep on the ground with Jones. He'll get only a couple down to the 44.
Looks like they're establishing a pretty good pattern here because they've been very heavy in the running game on the last 4 plays.
Yeah, you took the words right out of my mouth. So far, 4 plays in this drive, all 4 on the ground. Back to throw. And this is going to wind up incomplete. The coverage there too strong on the deep ball, and now they face a 3rd down.
Sure, that pass was incomplete as they made an attempt to get a big one downfield, but that's okay because the second part of that is if you don't get the completion, at least you've told the defense you're trying to stretch them out a little bit, and they may have to change accordingly.
And now on 3rd down, they'll need to get it to the 36 to pick up the first.
24 is the mic. Let's set a tone.
Ready.
They'll look to throw here. And that'll be incomplete. Now, they took their shot all right, but it comes up empty, and it's 4th down.
Had the right idea there, trying to throw it to the sideline, but he led him just a little bit too much, trying to get it out to his receiver. Ends up falling to the ground, incomplete.
And the punt team on now as this one's sent away. And not what he was hoping for there, as this will hit in the end zone for a touchback. Here's the Los Angeles offense as they get set to take possession. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. A throw over the middle, taken in. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. That one, a first down pickup of 8. That'll be caught by Cup. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down. Now they got to get to the line quickly. 2nd and 5. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. DeForest Buckner with a sack, the former number 7 overall pick. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And the pressure gets to him again. Now the Bills are going to use the first of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. Here's Johnny Hacker now. He's been one of their few bright spots so far. And this is away. It's a high kick, and he got all of it. And that hits at the 6 and carries into the end zone for a touchback. And this offense trotting back onto the field. Let's turn our attention here to Ronald Jones. A good job in the passing game, decent job in the running game, but really they've been more effective through the air. We'll see if that shifts at all as this goes on.
Thus far, it feels like they're calling this game in reverse. Normally you run to set up the pass. Here it feels like they're passing, hoping to set up the run and be more effective later on in the game.
Yeah, you can do it both ways. We usually talk about it in the reverse, however.
No doubt about it.
They'll start out on the ground with Jones. And defensively, they're just looking to keep him contained as they're able to get him down. Now the Bills will use the second of their timeouts as they stop it here with just under 40 ticks to go in this first half.
On the ready.
8 yards the tally on that first down run. Here's 2nd and 2. Second and 2. And that one got tipped, kind of threw everything off. It brings up 3rd.
You got to give some credit there, able to hop up in the air and bat that one away. And that's frustrating for an offensive lineman because the only recourse is when he goes in the air to try and get some type of a pop or a shove, hoping to bring his arms down.
This time they stay on the ground. And hit behind the line. He lost the football. It's loose. And now the Rams have got it, going the other way. And he takes it across for a Rams touchdown. So the defense forces the fumble. They get the score, and a guy on defense becoming offensive there, Charles.
And you know they love that. Any guy on defense loves to pick up the ball and have it in his hands and try and score himself. In this case, that's exactly what happened.
He'll be singing in the shower post-game.
This challenge was initiated by the guys in New York. Taking a look at the play, less than 2 minutes to go.
Yeah, I'm sure the coach wanted to challenge it, so he's probably going to send the New York office a holiday card. Call that a 45-yard punt, just 2 yards there on the return. And the Rams will go on offense here with a 1st and 10. And the Rams now coming out on the field. You've got less than 30 seconds left here in the half. You're well on your own side of the field. What are we doing here, Coach Davis?
Well, I'm trying something on 1st down. And it's something that's safe. It's something that's been done many times before. A lot of people say it's not even worth trying, but I'm running a draw. I'm running a screen. I'm seeing if something pops. And if it does, that can alter my strategy and potentially get me some points. And if it doesn't work, well, then you just run the clock out and go to the locker room.
A 4-receiver look here. 3 out to the left, 1 to the right on 2nd and 8. They'll set up the throw. Finding a safety valve here. That's complete. The Rams going to be forced to use their 3rd and final timeout as it'll come with 15 seconds to play in the first half. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. They'll look to throw. And he's taken to the ground, but he was pulled down by the face mask. Here come the flags. And I believe this is going to be a 1st down. Officials so cognizant of that call nowadays, but that one looked pretty easy.
Yeah, you're right. They took out of their hands having to wonder whether it's a 5-yard or a 15-yard, inadvertent or not. Now, it's a lot easier. You see it, you call it.
And now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. They'll find Everett there, complete. And he'll be brought down right at the 45-yard line. A bit of a catch for him to remember. That's number 400 for his NFL career. Not a bad number at all.
All right, Brandon, we'll get back to you guys in a bit. But first, time for a trip around the league on this final weekend of September.
All right, folks, eager to get back to this Week 4 matchup. We won't put up a fight. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This will be fielded at the 6. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. A first-half update now from Philadelphia. And the Steelers have scored yet again, really opening that one up. That'll be a game to monitor as we go along. Buffalo offense ready to go for their next drive. I would say they went 3-and-out last time, but actually they didn't even get to 3-and-out. Still a strange decision to us here in the booth.
Yeah, let's hope they don't go 1-and-out, but maybe, possibly, let's try and think with them here. Try to play field position maybe, turn the ball over, put it in the hands of their defense. Who knows?
You're a nice man. 11 yards and a Buffalo first down. It's been a remarkable day at the office for him running the football. Those yards just continue to pile well past 100.
And how about more than double-digit carries in the second half alone? That's what you want as a runner, because you've got to prove to your offensive line that you're going to be as tough as they are. They don't rotate in and out on every play. Running backs often do, so those who can stay out there with their offensive linemen, those are the guys they really value. They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them.
61, matchbox lights. Hey, seam 6. Seam 6. Let's go.
2nd and 6. He'll find Juju Smith-Schuster. And oh, so close as he takes it all the way to the 2-yard line. A big play here for Buffalo. 56 yards. Excellent execution, and now they're set up nicely.
Are they ever? Red zone? I wonder what the next play call is going to be, because after a big play like that, a lot of teams like to use the momentum to launch another one.
They come out here in the eye. The 3 red zone trips, 3 touchdowns so far. They'll look for a 4th on 2nd and goal.
Go.
Watch the ship. Watch the ship. Hey, watch the ship. Watch the ship.
They'll try and run it in with Jones. And he takes it in across the chalk for a Bills touchdown. Taking it in from 2 yards out. And the Bills will add on to their lead. And that rushing touchdown, his 4th, puts him just one shy of the NFL record in a single game.
And we all know he would love to get to that record and even beyond it. But he doesn't need to in order to impress in this one, does he? What a performance. What an absolute great game that he's had here in this one.
Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Out come the Rams. They'll have it first here to begin the 3rd quarter. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half 2.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use. Just something to get you off to a quick start. The goal of a wide receiver screen is get enough blockers in front to create a wall and let him pick his spot to run the football. How about the defense there, swarming to it and not allowing that to happen? Did not let him get downfield.
And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. It'll wind up being a loss of 2, and they'll be facing a 3rd and 12. A pass for negative yardage, obviously no good. Maybe he shouldn't have thrown it, or maybe he shouldn't have caught it.
And I think we were seeing it at the same time, weren't we? Maybe you let that one go, right? Because you can see the lost yardage about to develop. But that goes against every instinct of a receiver. They're taught to catch everything. So it's really hard to be mad at him and yell at him for trying to make that play.
They'll get 10 there, but it leaves them just short for 4th down.
He wasn't the primary target, but I think it was almost like a check down situation, wasn't it?
Yeah, hoping he can break some tackles, a big tight end, but he couldn't do it.
Yeah, get it to that big frame and hope he could scatter some bodies, unable to get it done.
It's a 46-yard punt, 2 on the return, and out will come the offense as they take over. And this offense trotting back onto the field. Let's turn our attention here to Ronald Jones. I guess it kind of goes without saying at this point, but he's had a great game, as we like to say, a nose for the end zone, no doubt.
Continues to find it throughout this game, and I'm sure he's got a nice place to live. He might want to make an offer on the end zone for a second home, because that's what it's been like throughout this contest. He knows how to get there, and boy, he looks happy when he does.
He's already bought all the property in the end zone. That's the problem. He's going to sell to himself now.
Watch the way.
Protein spill. Check, check.
Crunch. Crunch. Check the backer, check the backer. Quick the edge, quick the edge.
Leo. Say go.
They'll go again to Jones. A good run as he works his way for 9 that time, and it'll leave him with a third and just a few inches.
They've been running it well all game, and why not? The big guys up front, they're just having a ball, creating monster holes for their guys to run through.
Ready up.
Don't let him breathe. Don't let him breathe. Play that time deep. Don't let him breathe, defense.
Greystone travel.
Mike, 2. Watch 2.
On third down, Madison. And he's going to have the first down yardage as he's down at about the 30-yard line. Officially a gain of just a yard there, but they do convert on 3rd and inches.
I don't know about you, but that almost felt like old-time football there. 3rd and 2 is not necessarily just a running down anymore. A lot of times they want to throw the ball. They went back to the roots and powered forward and got the first down.
And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete. Juju Smith-Schuster, the intended receiver that time. And that'll bring up 2nd down.
24's the mic. I'm here all day. 24's the mic.
2nd and 10. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there, trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down. Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions.
Here we go, D. Here I come. Here I come.
They're going to look to throw. This is caught. It's Cooks. And they bring him to the ground just shy of midfield.
Nice catch right there. Brings to mind the sentence, when in doubt, find your veterans.
He used to laugh back in the day when they would call guys like him crafty veterans. You get up in your 30s, you're still playing receiver, but you're around that long at that position, you're doing something right.
Just remember this. When he was young, he thought the crafty veteran was simply a guy who couldn't run anymore. Now he understands a little bit better.
And this will be stopped at the 44. That one good for 7 yards. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3. 2nd and 3. This one complete to Lacey. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. So the defense blitzed. A nice job picking that up, completing the pass.
And how in sync was the quarterback in his center on that play? They saw the blitz, made the appropriate calls, got the line engaged, because now they know there are going to be extra guys coming at the quarterback, so they got their assignments down pat and kept them away from him, and he's able to step up in the pocket and fire one now for a really good strike.
He'll look to throw. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Those INTs all sting, but you throw one in the red zone, I think especially as a rookie, maybe it stings a little bit more.
I think what you're saying is they don't all count the same, do they? Right? Interceptions in the red zone that you've given up points.
And they're going to sack him again. The 5th time they've gotten him today, and this one results in a safety. And the safety there, another mistake, and these mistakes just keep piling up.
How many more can they make? They put themselves in such a massive hole now. Going to be difficult to dig out from under.
Yeah, for sure they can't afford anymore at this point. After the safety, remember, they also need to give up the football, and here's the free kick. And we'll see what he can do on the return. Elsewhere, a 3rd quarter score. Now, you saw the score at the bottom of your screen a moment ago. We got a good one going on there. Remember to keep an eye on the ticker, of course, at the bottom of your screen for updates on that game and others around the NFL. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. This is Jones. They're going to snuff this play out behind the line. We have not seen that much today. A full 5-yard loss that time. It's going to make 2nd down pretty tough.
You know, it's become cliche, but we have seen it and observed it. When runners have days like what we're seeing right now, they often take their offensive linemen out for steaks afterwards, don't they? They don't go buy them dinner, but after a play like that, they might reduce it.
And now look at him go. The 20. And all the way home for a Bills touchdown. DJ Chark, his 2nd touchdown on the season as his guys continue to pour it on. Solid response that time by a young quarterback. Last drive, interception. This drive, the touchdown pass.
I like how you described it, solid, because you don't get extra kudos for bouncing back if you're going to be a big-time quarterback. You're supposed to do that. But at the same time, when you're a rookie, that's not guaranteed, is it? Sometimes they hang their heads and they go in the tank a little bit. Not in this case. Bounced back, took his team downfield, and threw a touchdown pass.
This fielded at the 2. And he'll take this across the 25. Couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. The Rams offense now, they get set and head back onto the field. And let's face it, this drive is not going to have any bearing on this game, but it's kind of important for one reason, isn't it?
It certainly is. You got to get points. And okay, all right, I'm being facetious here. But you get points, you feel a little bit better about yourself as you move on to the next one.
And the first play of the drive there is incomplete. Another incompletion. You know, it's a wonder he's still moving around back there the number of times he's been sacked.
Yeah, he's staying out there, isn't he? And you don't think about it much in a game like this, but he's showing incredible leadership. Still competing, still fighting, not taking himself out of a ball game that appears lost.
The throw on the quick slant going to be complete. They'll get 9 there as that sets them up better for 3rd down. The Rams on 3rd down. It's been a problem. Just 1 for 7 thus far. They're up against a 3rd and 1 situation. He'll drop to throw. And that will be incomplete. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden the secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
Oh, he'll field it in the end zone. Very good return that time. 18 yards. And the Bills will be backed up to start the drive. They'll have it 1st and 10. And this offense trotting back onto the field. Let's turn our attention here to Ronald Jones. The Bills come to the line to start their next drive. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When do you go to the backup, let him get some time?
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you, in the 2015 season, I commentated on 3 games in a row that were blowouts. And in none of them did the starting quarterback ever come out of the game for the team that had a big lead. And in each instance, I asked the coaches later on, why didn't you do that? And they all looked at me and said, just don't really do that in the NFL. You know, these guys play, and we just play them all the way through. Now, in certain situations, they will take them out, but for the most part, they're not as worried and concerned about getting them out of the game. And that's always puzzled me a little bit. I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result. Negative yardage.
Choose the mic.
Hey, let's get in them holes.
2nd and 11. And he whips that one incomplete there.
Well, he did almost everything right. Excellent coverage, breaks on the football, just unable to haul it in and take it the other way, so he dropped an interception. The key for him now, don't dwell on it, just move on to the next play.
They'll drop the throw. And that is incomplete. That pass just a little bit off. It looked like maybe he tried to force it in there.
Game speed, always different, no matter what you do in practice. Can't simulate it, right? So your decision-making, everything has to be a little bit quicker. Sometimes it can throw you off until you adjust.
Let's go, boys. Bring it up.
Now the Rams offense, they work their way back on the field. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone.
And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try and figure out what is working and call more of that.
A good pickup, 17 yards, and also a Rams first down. One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. Looking to throw. Throwing over the middle, but it's incomplete. That time trying to find Gerald Everett. That'll bring up 2nd down. Another pass attempt, another incompletion. You figure defensively, you're in the 4th quarter here. You've held the team under 100 yards passing. You've done your job.
Especially in today's NFL, which is truly a pass-first league.
They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete.
I think this one offensively, this is one where you just say, let's move on. Let's not even watch the game tapes from this one.
Yeah, you might just want to throw it in the trash, act like it was never there in the first place.
Yeah, just say we're good. I actually have heard of a coach in the past who took his team out to the practice field and ceremonially buried the game films from the prior game when they got clobbered. That was his way of putting it behind him.
And he can only manage to get this to the 45-yard line, well short of the first. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. You're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
Here's the Buffalo offense now as they get set to take over here. With this lead and the football, things obviously looking good, but maybe... you've taught me this before. Maybe this is where the defense is hoping that the offense helps them preserve that shutout that they've got going.
And it has to be in the minds of the offense that they know how rare it is to get a shutout. So take care of them, protect them, take care of the ball, move it downfield, run the clock down. You don't want your defense to have to go on the field again the rest of the game. Reward them.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30.
Hey, watch it. Check 24.
They'll keep it on the ground. Madison, he takes this from the 30 to the 34.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
Now back to throw. And this one into the hands of DJ Shark. And this is going to be another 1st down as the tackle's going to be made at the Rams 40. And looking to put this game on ice in the 4th quarter, but still not afraid to throw it as they show there.
You want to play the game with confidence, and they have a guy who's in control right now. Their trigger guy, throwing it, they feel just as confident with him doing that as they would if they tried to run the ball and run the clock out.
And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. 12 yards that time, and a Bills 1st down. Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10.
General West.
They'll set up a throw. And that is incomplete. Showed off the arm strength there, but to no avail. 2nd down. Here's 2nd and 10 now from the 29.
Watch out.
Flipper.
Now Jones. And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals. Starting to really smell a 4-0 start right now. You can't ask for a better 1st quarter of the season than that.
And you're not supposed to look ahead, but guess what?
You're going to?
They have to. Because when you get to if you get to 4-0, you're not just thinking playoffs now. You're thinking about, okay, this team has the capabilities of winning a Super Bowl. They could very well be the best team in the NFL at this moment.
I think they played the best. I mean, there have been a few hiccups offensively and defensively, but probably the best team we've seen, right?
And has the ability to get better.
So with the missed PAT in his rearview mirror, he goes back out to kick this one off. This is taken at the 3. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. And now out on the field, here comes Los Angeles. And with this deficit, you can't have too many more drives like the last drive where you had to punt it away.
You know what I would tell my offense right here? The punter doesn't exist, guys. He doesn't even exist. He's not a team anymore. I just cut him, all right? So you've got to go out and create some offense for us here and give us some points. No way does that guy get on the field on this drive.
Poor punter.
Yeah, it wasn't his fault. But, hey, listen, there's got to be casualties at times. We're trying to win a game.
Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Rams football here as we get you reset. They're looking at second down now as they search for a consolation score. 2nd and 9 now. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. That's sacked by Tremaine Edmonds.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. Back to throw here. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down. It's been this way most of the afternoon, hasn't it? This secondary, it really put this receiving core on lockdown.
Listen, they've worked together like a basketball team that's playing excellent defense. Great communication, doesn't matter whether it's man or zone. And especially against deep balls, as we saw there, they're not giving up anything to them.
We got this.
Well, someone's going to be happy with that effort. You know who else is going to be happy? This defense.
Absolutely.
He's created a very long field for that offense to try to traverse.
And he got some help from Mr. Football there, checking up nicely. Good English on that punt.
Hey, check 20.
Hard. Shoot.
They'll run on 1st down. Madison, and he's up past the 10 to about the 12. It was Taven Bryan who got him down defensively. That one looks like he'll throw here. That one complete. He finds Sharp. And they'll get it all the way up about 5 yards shy of midfield. It's a gain of 34. So that changes things. Here's 1st and 10 all the way up at the 45. Throwing on 1st down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. The incompletion there stops the clock. Any surprise they're throwing here late?
Ordinarily, yes, because you would think enough is enough. They've got plenty of lead, but I've seen this a bunch of times as well. The defense is going to crowd the line of scrimmage. If you just hand it off inside, you're getting your running back popped a lot as well. Sometimes the defense dictates it. If they're going to crowd it, you may have no other choice but to throw it downfield.
Hey, Charlie.
Bang, 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 bang.
On 2nd down, it's Jones. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. 12 yards that time, and a Bills 1st down. Now the Bills are going to use the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
Hey, lock it.
10, under 10, 10.
Ready.
Jones. Just a yard on the 1st down carry, so it's 2nd and 9. And what are the whistles for? Timeout. So they'll stop the clock here in a game that's been decided in the closing seconds.
Hey, Alpha.
Back to throw. Sharp's got it left side. And this is going to be another 1st down as the tackle's going to be made at the Rams' 27-yard line. Now whistles and a timeout called here. Not sure of the point of this, but they'll stop it with 4 seconds to go in the game.
Down. 10 Lobo.
24 is the mic. Let him know, let him know. Let him know, let him know.
They'll look to throw here. And it's incomplete. They're still throwing to the very end, but now this game is over. So it's a victory here for the Buffalo Bills. And I tell you what, Charles, this might be about as good as it gets. They were incredible.
Yeah, offense was in fine form. The defense threw the shutout at them. I think they worked in concert together. What I like about the offense was they held the ball pretty well. You know, time of possession, exactly what they were looking for in this one, and that helped out their defense. Didn't have to be out there the entire time. So when you do that and you're out there fresh playing, off a little extra spring in your step, and it showed up in this one.
They had a ton of spring in their step. Impressive victory. So for the Bills, hey, they finish a perfect month of September as they move to 4-0 on the new campaign. And they will hit the road next week to take on the Miami Dolphins. Meanwhile, for L.A., they'll sink now to 0-4. And fortunately for them, they'll have the early bye next week as they return to action in